Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we are going to check out the brand new SSR character, Varagarv. And I'm going to see if this unit is worth building, if he's worth the investment. And I hope that he is a good unit because you guys saw my summon video and it was absolutely painful. As you guys can see, I have no more suspendum. I have 870, so I am broke. So hopefully it was worth it because if he's trash, that's going to break my heart. So let's go ahead, hop right into the showcase. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at his kit. So for his passive, it says Blood Bond. Varagarv's defense increases by 70% for every purple element ally other than himself at the start of the battle. In addition, the cooldown of Black Chain decreases by 0.5 seconds every time he is hit. Each time a barrier from Black Chain is destroyed, Varagarv creates another barrier equal to 30% of the original barrier for 10 seconds and recovers 30% of his max HP. So when we take a look at his passive Blood Bond, the fact that he's going to increase his own defense by 70%, I'm pretty sure when you max him out, like when you reach 3 red stars, it is going to be 90%. So the fact that you get like a 90% defense increase if you put him in purple team, that is actually really good. And the cooldown of his Black Chain is going to decrease every time he is hit, which is really nice. And of course, the barrier is going to scale off his, like, not scale off his HP, but he's going to create another barrier equal to 30% of the original barrier for 10 seconds, and he's also going to recover 30% of his max HP. So this is a really nice passive for Varagarv. And then we move on to his first active skill, the strongest regular. It says Varagarv deals 480% of his attack as damage to the enemy with the highest defense, then knocks them back to the edge of the battlefield for 4 seconds. If Varagarv's max HP is higher than the target's, he deals 20% of his max HP as additional damage. This always lands on bosses. In addition, Varagarv deals 300% of his attack as damage to enemies in range and knocks them back for 2 seconds. So his first active skill pretty much scales off of his attack, and then for additional damage is going to scale off of his max HP, 20% of his max HP. And then we move on to his next active skill, Black Chain. Varagarv swings a chain to deal 900% of his attack as damage to nearby enemies, provoking them for 5 seconds. In addition, he creates a barrier equal to 75% of his max HP for 10 seconds. When the barrier from Black Chain is destroyed, the enemy who destroyed the barrier takes 50% of the barrier amount as damage. So for this active right here, this active skill Black Chain, I think this is a really good active skill for him because of course he can provoke the enemy, which is really nice. When he swings his chain to deal damage, that's going to scale off of his attack. And then the barrier, it says he's going to create a barrier equal to 75% of his max HP. So this is huge scaling right here. Like the max HP scaling is actually really huge, and the fact that it lasts for 10 seconds is really nice. So I feel like this barrier is definitely going to be extremely tanky because as of right now he has a barrier in his passive. For his active skill, he also has, I'm pretty sure he also has a barrier here. No, he doesn't have a barrier for his first active, but he also has a barrier for his second active. So there's a lot of barriers in his kit, which is really good overall. And then when we look at his special move, Shadow Wolf, it says Varagarv increases his max HP by 150% for 10 seconds. He then summons 3 demonic dogs that charge at the enemy to deal 600% of his attack as damage. If there is another enemy nearby, the dogs charge at them as well. Enemies bitten by a dog have their HP recovery blocked for 10 seconds and take 2% of Varagarv's max HP as bleed damage every second, max 3 stacks. So you're basically taking the fact that it says max 3 stacks, you're initially taking 6% of Varagarv's max HP as bleed damage every second. So for this special move right here, the fact that it's going to increase his max HP by 150%, that's going to be very good for his active skill Black Chain, because the barrier that he gains from Black Chain is going to scale off of his max HP. So activating his special move is going to make his barrier a lot tankier. So that's pretty much his whole kit. Like when I read his whole kit, I feel like the best part of his kit is definitely this active skill right here, Black Chain. The passive right here, because the passive is going to decrease the cooldown of Black Chain every time he is hit, which is really good. and of course his ultimate, the special move. Now we're gonna go ahead and watch his preview. We're gonna pretty much check out, how he's able to perform, how his, animations look like. So let's go and see what we have here. So this is going to be Blood Bond. This is going to be his passive. And as you guys can see, he activated the barrier and he provoked the enemy. And then that's the strongest regular attack right there. So how many times can he activate this barrier? I want to see how many times he can activate it. So let's keep going. I'm trying to see what he's going to activate it again. Okay. So I think that was like 10 or 5 seconds probably. So we're going to go ahead and use his ultimate right here. Let's go and see the animation. I want to see the animation of his ultimate. Okay, that actually looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. So he's going to summon these dogs. And then he's going to increase his HP. Plus he's blocking the enemy's HP recovery. That is really, really interesting. So that's pretty much Varagarv. Really, really simple unit. Now, when we take a look at his exclusive equipment, it says for level 1, Varagarv decreases the physical resistance of enemies provoked with the Black Chain skill by 30% for 10 seconds. That is actually really, really nice because that is going to allow units like Joaquin and Kaseya to do more damage. So this is really good because for units who are pretty much, physical DPS, like the fact that you have a physical DPS unit on your team, this is going to allow them to do more damage because you're shredding the enemy's physical resistance. So level 1 is very, very good. And in level 2, it says Varagarv's max HP increases by 10% until the end of the battle every time he uses a skill. And then for level 3, it says Varagarv recovers 10% of his max HP every second for each barrier that is active. And then for level 4, it says Varagarv unleashes the Blood Tamara when his HP falls below 30%, increasing his max HP by 50% for 10 seconds, making him invincible for 3 seconds and resetting the cooldown of Black Chain. The limit is once. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the best level for him is obviously going to be level 1 and level 4. The fact that he is going to become invincible for 3 seconds is really, really good. Plus, you're going to reset the cooldown of his Black Chain. So level 1, level 4, very, very good. And of course, level 2 and 3 are pretty much just focusing on recovering his max HP and also increasing his max HP, which is going to be really good for his barriers. Now, you guys might be confused on how to build this character because he scales off of attack and max HP. So what should you guys do? Should you give him a defense set, an attack set, or max HP set? So when I look at Varagarv's kit, I'm choosing Runda, and the reason why I'm choosing Runda is because this set is going to increase his max HP, and that is going to make his barriers a lot more tankier. And then for the 4-piece set effect, he is going to pretty much give a barrier to everyone on the same row as him, and this barrier is going to scale off of his attack. So I do feel like Runda is going to be his best in slot because it is going to increase his max HP, which is going to help him have a tankier barrier. Now, I'll say second best in slot is definitely going to be Bergamot. And the reason why Bergamot is going to be second best in slot is because it's going to give him additional lifesteal, which is going to increase his survivability. And for the 4-piece set effect, it says when the wielder reaches 30% HP or less, Bergamot immediately restores 40% of the wielder's max HP and increases their lifesteal by an additional 20%. So you're basically getting additional lifesteal, which is really good, and that's going to increase his survivability. Now, you guys might be wondering, well, what about the defense set? Because he is a tank unit. Now, the reason why I feel like you shouldn't really focus on a defense set for Varagarv is because you're already getting like 70% or 90% defense from his passive, which is really huge. So instead of you focusing on defense, you should try to get more max HP to make his barrier a lot tankier. Now, for the 4-piece set effect, you are going to get additional physical and magic resistance for the Myongo set. And when we look at the new defense set, the Sela set, this set is also going to give him a physical and magic resistance. So I feel like the Sela set is also going to be pretty good for him because it's also going to recover 20% of his max HP, which is really nice. So I will say number 1 is Runda, and then number 2 is probably going to be Bergamot, and number 3 is going to be the Sela set. Now for slot 4 and 5, you want to focus on magic resistance and physical resistance. And then the number one thing that you definitely want to level up is HP. You want to level up the HP percentage because this is going to make him a lot tankier. So level up the HP percentage, and then after you level that up, then you want to level up the physical magic resistance, and then level up the attack percentage and then the defense. Now, the stats that you guys should be focusing on with Varagarv is, of course, HP. Having a lot of HP on him is going to be very good. Some attack is basically going to allow him to deal more damage. Defense is also pretty good on him. You don't have to worry about crit rate or crit damage. He is not a DPS unit, so you don't really have to worry about crit rate or crit damage. But you also want to get some accuracy and evasion, mostly evasion, so that he can avoid enemy attacks. Swiftness is also really good, and you want to get a ton of magic and physical resistance. You don't want to focus on magic and physical pierce because he is not a DPS unit. Getting some lifesteal is also good as well. So those are like the top stats you guys should focus on with Varagarv. It's HP, some attack, some defense. You want to get accuracy, evasion, magic resistance, physical resistance, and some lifesteal. You can get that through the Tri-Essence facility. So now that we went over his kit, his best ignition weapons, let's go ahead and talk about team comps. So obviously the best team comp for Varagarv is purple team comp. Now when it comes to, which characters you should use, so of course we have Hayura. Now Hayura, she is definitely going to increase the survivability of Varagarv because she can revive, which is really nice. So Hayura, amazing support. You also want to have Joaquin. Joaquin is a physical damage type unit, which is really good for Varagarv because he is pretty much going to shred the enemy's physical resistance, which allows Joaquin and Kaseya to do more damage. So having Joaquin, Kaseya alongside with Vivi, this team is going to be crazy. Of course, you can alternate and you can switch out some characters. You can put in a Gusting if you want some more healing. You can take out a Joaquin, you can put in Gusting, or you can just take out Vivi and put in Gusting. You can do whatever you want. But as of right now, I'm pretty much gonna put Joaquin in because this is pretty much, the best formation for purple team comp. We're gonna go ahead, head into battle, and see his performance. All right, here we go. Now remember, guys, his performance has to be as good as Karaka or even better. So hopefully, his survivability is very good. So let's go to see what we have here. So he's losing some HP right there, but as you guys can see, he activated the barrier, and that barrier is extremely tanky. So we're gonna go and see how much damage he took right there, and let's go and see how much damage he took. So he took 513 million damage, which is insane. So like I said, that's the main reason why max HP is very good on Varagarv, because that barrier is very tanky. So you want to put as much HP on Varagarv as much as possible so that he'll be able to tank all of the damage, incoming damage from the enemy team. So we're gonna go ahead and do some trial area attempts. I feel like this is gonna be a lot better. And yeah, I'm just gonna showcase this character, and you guys can pretty much decide whether or not if he's good or not. So let's go ahead and hop right into the gameplay. So his performance is actually pretty good. Now, of course, you guys can argue that, well, you're not at a high deficit, so you can't really, come to a conclusion whether or not he's going to be good for the end game. Well, good thing is, one of my Discord members, they are literally in the end game, and they sent me a clip showing his tank capabilities, and it was absolutely insane. So we're gonna go ahead, switch on over to the clip, and I'm gonna show you guys his potential in the end game. So when we take a look at the clip right here, this player don't really focus on the team. He just wanted to pretty much showcase the amount of damage Varagarv can receive in the late game in the high deficit. So this player is on trial 611, and as you guys can see, Varagarv is taking so much damage because of that barrier. Like, you want to make sure that you build a ton of HP on Varagarv because that barrier scales off of his HP. So this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Just look at this right here. He's going to activate the barrier again. Just wait for it. And there it is, the barrier. So as soon as he activates his special move, he's going to pretty much increase his max HP, which is going to benefit his barrier by a lot. So pairing him up with a unit such as Higher, who's pretty much going to revive him, is just absolutely insane. So look how much damage he's receiving right there. Max HP increase. Just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy unit. So that's pretty much Varagarv in a high deficit. Now the real question is, how many copies do you need on Varagarv in order for him to work? So I highly recommend you guys to aim for 4 orange stars for Varagarv, because you are going to get 40% additional HP, which is very, very good for him. So I feel like the more copies you get on this unit, the more he becomes, the more tankier he becomes. So you definitely want to aim for the 4 orange stars so you can get that additional HP. And once you reach 4 orange stars, you might as well go for max rainbow, because he's going to get that Battlestar energy, which is going to allow him to pretty much increase his max HP with his special move. So you definitely want to aim for 4 orange stars so that he can get additional HP, so that he can become a lot tankier. So overall, Varagarv, very, very strong tank unit. Very, very good. The fact that he can decrease the enemy's physical resistance is definitely good for units like Joaquin. I'm pretty sure Vivi is a physical damage type unit. Let me see. Yes, Vivi is also a physical damage type unit. So he's pretty much benefiting Vivi, Joaquin, and Kaseya, which is very, very good overall. That's pretty much all I have for you guys in today's guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.